if we take this theme into account, three factors must always be taken, just as hour hand, minute hand, or second hand. Like that, three limbs are there for interpretation. First limb is the promise in the chart. Without executing the promise in the chart, you will never look into any other factors. Normally what happens, Gochar or Jupiter has come, therefore, आपकी शादी हो गया, you will be getting married. That's the way. Unless there is the promise in the chart, the question of marriage does not arise. The event will not take place if there is no promise. Therefore, first important factor is interpreting the chart. That promises in the chart must be first analyzed. So, first factor for any interpretation is look into the promises. So, how do we see the promises? When the promises would be fulfilled, the capacity of the person concerned, the capacity of the native of the chart is very important first. Because it is he who is going to achieve this. It is he who is going to get it. Therefore, when you look into it, if the Lord of the Lagna is very strong, you find he will be having the necessary capacity and also having the courage to execute the work. Therefore, when the Lagna is very strong, it gives enough potency to him. If Lagnesh is very strong, the Lord of Lagna is very strong, right? It enables him to get the execution done. Therefore, Lagna and Lagnesh, the Lord of Lagna as well as the ascendant, must give you enough strength. Always watch for what is the Lagna. Lagna, you find here Aries. The Lord of the Lagna is Mars. So fiery signs are involved. If fiery signs are very strong, the native has got energy to do things. Irrespective of the timing factor, the native would work. Now, where the Lagnesh is posited, the Lord of Lagna is to find in the fifth house. So that means it is posited in a train, thereby boosting the Lagna. If it is in Lagna, if it is in the fifth house, if it is in the ninth house, that means it is supporting the Lagna. You find that the fifth bhava and the ninth bhava are supporting the Lagna. By nature, क्या है? This bhava is supported by the father, supported by the grandfather. Therefore, three generations are involved. So you learn from the previous people who have generated earlier, and you pass on this to next generation. Therefore, 159. The Lagna bhava, the fifth bhava, and the ninth bhava are very important in analyzing the chart. In this case, you find the Lagna has gone to the fifth bhava. Thereby, enough control over the progress of the native is there. Now, with whom it is attached? It is attached with Sun and Mercury, the Buddha Aditya Yoga formation. So, what is the meaning of the word Buddha Aditya Yoga? When you see Buddha Aditya Yoga, you find brain is sharp. It's not a question of accumulating letters. It's a question of how fast I will be able to work, how soon I will be able to understand things. That is the sharpness of the brain. Therefore, Sun Mercury, it's not a tube light taking time to enlighten. It's a flash. So that means if anything is to be studied, the native would devote time. The native would ensure his clarifications are properly answered. Then understand the things, apply the mind, and then come out with the answers. That means he will plan. That's why it has gone to the fifth house. Without planning, without executing the work in a planned manner, the native would never come out. That is why it is in the fifth house. That means fifth house. If Lord of Lagna has gone to the fifth house, that means the native would always find executing it in accordance with a particular plan, executing with idea, executing with a desire that it is appealable to others. That is the essence of in the fifth house. Now, who is the ninth lord? See the yoga. Ninth lord is the ninth aspecting the Lagna. So, ninth lord is strong. That means he is supported by parents, elders, Jupiter. For ninth lord in the ninth, so again causing a yoga, Raj Yoga. When it is aspecting the Lagnesh as well as the Lagna. That means knowledgeable, and as I used to say, the Jupiter and Mercury are two limbs for knowledge acquisition. If they are united with or associated with Lagna or Lagnesh, the native will be always studying, will be enriching his knowledge every moment of his life. No age matters for him. No dashas will parallel him. No, he will always study. So that you find. So native would have a good educational background. Now look at the 10th lord of this native. 10th lord is the second. 10th lord is Saturn. And 10th house has got Rahu there. Therefore, he has to start the things from the scratch as far as the profession is concerned. So he will have to go from the low level to up level. So that means if he has joined as a clerk, become an officer and interpreting, and he will have to work. He will have to work more. If he indulges in business, he may not succeed. Because Saturn, you find, is for this particular bhava. Saturn again, 9th and 10th lord. That means it causes Raja Yoga. Therefore, Saturn is potential enough, then Mercury. As a result, what this native must go for service. Fine. So 10th lord is given that. Now look at from moon point of view. Who is the 10th lord of moon? Moon itself. That is in the Lagna of the native. If moon's Lagna is taken, thereby professional oriented person. जो भी काम ये करेगा, whether he does the work in accordance with the mind is also powerful enough. It is away from sun, aspecting the Lagna. Therefore, the activity will be always on line. You will never find him tired. Because moon is aspecting Lagna, powerful moon, away from sun. With the result, the native got two, the body and mind are powerful enough for him to work. That this is the trump card when you see the promise. Now look at all the planets. Where are they comfortable in the places where they are located? Because the dasha is going to be interpreted in accordance with the position of the planet. Therefore, you have to look for the next aspect that you want to see the promise, how far the planets are. Look at this. Now, is moon sun comfortable there? Moon is in the nakshatra of Rahu. Rahu is the 10th. Therefore, career must have some connection to moon. Right? Saturn is the Lord. Saturn is in Mars nakshatra, resulting in Lagnesh. Therefore, Mars and Saturn would give better road for him as a Lagnesh and as a 10th lord. 10th lord forming a Raja Yoga in the place in which is there. Therefore, if Saturn is संबंधित बातें ये करेगा लाइफ में, he will always be successful. He will have Saturn. You look at the significations of Saturn. Saturn is your servant. Right? When Saturn is powerful, your servant will be equally good for you. Is Saturn aspected by any planet in this horoscope? No. Therefore, even if the servants are allowed to be independent at home without anybody's consent, definitely they will provide enough help and necessity to the natives' requirement. That's what you see in the plan. What is Mars? Mars is co-born. Apart from Lord of Lagna, Mars is co-born. That is with Sun and Mercury. If you look at that way, especially the second co-born of the native would be educated well because Mars is supported with Sun and Mercury. You may ask me why Lord of Lagnesh hai? It is with Sun and Mercury, why not? The placement of Sun and Mercury in the fifth house represent the child, the native, as well as the second co-born. Therefore, in their Lagna it is posited, casting intelligence to that native who is related to this Bhava. Therefore, I am saying, when compared to the native's co-born will be highly educated, the native children would get high education. Yes, sir. There is a promise that you find. This combination Sun and Mercury, 25 degrees and 18, they are not combust. From prediction point of view, do not take the closeness up, unless otherwise in Navamsa they are in the same side. From prediction point of view, astronomical point of view is different. From prediction point of view, if Sun and Mercury are different, or any planet with Sun going to Navamsa in a separate house need not be worried. They will function in the normal usual. Only difference is the closeness with which it is there. First Navamsa, second Navamsa, first Navamsa, fourth Navamsa, first Navamsa, ninth Navamsa. Difference. Accordingly, the degrees or intensity will vary. But if it is away from Sun, it should not be deemed in Navamsa, it should not be deemed as combustion. Degree. Because one Navamsa and another Navamsa, that is more sufficient for us. You find here that Mercury is in 6th Navamsa, while Sun is in 8th Navamsa. While Mars 8th Navamsa. So Sun and Mercury in Navamsa will find they are together. That means the Lagna is combust. Okay. So in all this while, if Lagna is combust, what happened? Brightness is not there. So he has to be satisfied with working for others. He does not have that much of courage to do things on his own. Okay, now Venus is in the 4th house. Is Venus comfortable in Cancer Lagna? Venus could be anywhere. If it is not afflicted, the marital life will be good. If it is in the house of comforts, it will provide all the comforts necessary. The native would get. Now it is in Rahu Ketu axis. What is the interpretation of Rahu Ketu axis? Whenever a planet is in Rahu Ketu axis, you will always find he has got to make use of it. He can't escape from difficulty that he may face on account of the planet which is in Rahu Ketu axis. 1. Rahu Ketu axis in 410. Therefore, comforts there may be some difficulties. Right? Rahu in the 10th. Right? He may have more than one profession, or he may have changes in profession, or he may be disturbed from one office to another office. The Rahu will not allow him to stick on to one chair throughout life. That is 10th house Rahu. Right? If Rahu is the second house, again there will be fluctuations in wealth. Now Saturn is the 10th lord. Normally, what is the second house? Saturn, if Saturn is positive in the second house, what happens? The slowness of earning will come. Dhire come. Therefore, slowness of earning will come. With the result, क्या है? The native has to rise slowly. Now, Saturn is again 10th lord in the second. Therefore, he has to earn it through service. Because Saturn cannot represent business. Saturn represents service. Be under somebody to work. So, even if he is in a parental business, he will be working for the business, not sitting in the chair. That's how you should interpret Saturn's role. Now, fortunately for this native, Saturn is in Taurus sign. From the 10th bhava is in Trikona. Jaisa Lagnesh is also in Trikona. The 10th bhava se Trikona hai. Therefore, he cannot be in an ordinary service. The supporting hand. The second, 6th and 10th bhavas are supporting enough because they are Trikona to each other. They are trained to each other. Therefore, you find this Saturn is going to help him grow in his service. Even though the promotions will be coming in step by step, not immediately or regularly every 3 years, every 5 years, but ultimately helping. Because Saturn is not as questionable in planet. Unblemished. And for that bhava, for the bhava, wealth bhava, it is as a yoga. What is yoga karaka? Lord of tribe and quadrant. Kendra Trikona ka Lord. Therefore, it is going to help him. What the best thing for him would be. So, यहाँ 6th Lord is Mercury. If you say 6th Lord is the 5th. So, if Mercury is to be connoted, say for business, then comfortably comparing Saturn and Mercury, Saturn is more profitable for him. Therefore, our advice for this native would be to go for service. Now, look at the pattern of Dasha. Look at the pattern of Dasha. What was the Dasha he got first? Moon in Swati Nakshatra. That means Rahu Dasha started. Okay, Rahu Dasha is started. So Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn. So Rahu Dasha 10 degrees to 20 degrees, 50% of that. Another 10 degrees. So you find Rahu Dasha will be there for 15 years, 18 years of life, 3 saal 15 years roughly, then followed by Jupiter, which is in the 9th bhava, in the 9th lord, and Saturn, 10th lord in the second. Therefore, that means Jupiter and Saturn should give him necessary push to go up and elevate. Therefore, Dasha that has followed by the native has been tremendous. Therefore, the growth will be there for the native from step by step. Even though during Rahu Dasha, he would not have favored or prospered much. But bachpan hai, even then, childhood life would be smooth? No. But when Jupiter came, when Saturn came, it would definitely fine. The present Dasha, Saturn running. Present Dasha, Saturn running. Saturn would be good. Now Saturn will Rahu. Fortunately for this native, again Saturn Rahu is in fine. It is not 6-8 to create trouble. But Rahu is Rahu, whatever is said and done. Right? In transit, Rahu is passing through the 6th house. Therefore, there may be some sort of problem as far as the service is concerned. Rahu basically in the 10th house, transiting the 6th bhava, the Trikona. Therefore, Rahu ka dasha, especially 2 Malemix dasha, would always give you some sort of unpleasantness. Chahe you like or you don't like. You got to go through that process. Because Dasha pattern is malefic. Therefore, you find you got to go through the variations in Dasha. So, Dasha interpretation of Negro, when how Rahu would have faced, Rahu is 055. 055 means it is in Surya Dasha. Surya Nakshatra, not Dasha. Surya Nakshatra. Okay, therefore, if Rahu Dasha is to be seen, Surya Nakshatra. Surya in what Nakshatra? 25 degrees of So अपने नक्षत्र में 2640 में Venus नक्षत्र. So it is in Venus nakshatra. Again Venus comes the nakshatra में you find 1021. So Saturn nakshatra. Saturn 2642. Mars. Mars nakshatra. Mars is 24. 6 of this should be Venus. Okay, that means Rahu should have some Venus quality. इसका मतलब है if there is a trouble, the trouble should come from a lady. Today Saturn Rahu. What is the purpose of this horoscope? Rahu is the 10th. Saturn is the 10th lord. Therefore, this native would have come to be only for the purpose of 10th house. That's how we should finish. Okay? Okay. Any questions we have? Whether was there any problem in the office?
Rahu transit, when Rahu will come in transit in 5th house, then what will be the outcome?
Rahu is transiting from the professional point of view. If we take away, Rahu is transiting the 8th from professional house. Right? Departmental transfer will be there. When Rahu is transiting during the Dasha. Now, at that time, Dasha is very important. Rahu is transiting, but from whom, where the transit takes place? 11th house. Therefore, this Dasha, from moon's point of view, Rahu is transiting the 11th house. Therefore, such a transfer, such a disturbance will be with education or with the responsibility. Rahu transit. Any other question? Did you face any trouble with office?
Yeah.
Okay, finished.